You see it. Let's get it. Security researchers target with new malware via job offers on LinkedIn. Be careful when you click on those LinkedIn job offers. You can see they can have malware or viruses. So nothing new, but once again, let's read the article. Suspected North Korean hacking group is targeting security researchers and media organizations in the United States and Europe with fake job offers that lead to deployment of three new custom malware families. So the North Koreans have 0 days, which means your malware and virus protection will not catch it, right? Three new custom malware families. So got to be careful. Once again, your virus protection and your malware won't catch it because they're new. The attackers use social engineering to convince their targets to engage over WhatsApp, uh, where they drop the malware payload, plank walk, C plus backdoor that helps them establish a foothold in the target's corporate environment. So, corporate environment, they believe you're going to be looking for job offers on your corporate computer. Don't do that. According to Mandiant, which has been tracking a particular campaign since June 2022, the observed activity overlaps with the Operation Dream Job attributed to the North Korean cluster known as the Lazarus Group. So that's the hacking group, the Lazarus Group out of North Korea. However, Mandiant observed enough differences in the employee tools, infrastructure, and TTPs, tactic, techniques, and procedures to attribute this campaign to a separate group that tracked as UNC 2970. So they're giving the hackers nicknames. So UNC 2970. Furthermore, the attackers used previously unseen malware named Touch Moved or Sideshow and Touch Shift, which has not been attributed to any known threat group. Once again, which is that 0 day malware, right? Never been attributed, never seen. So once again, your malware and virus protection probably won't catch it. Even your corporate virus protection and malware won't catch it. Mandiant said a particular group has previously targeted tech firms, media group, and entities in the defense industry. Its latest campaign showed it has evolved its targeting scope and adapted its capabilities. Phishing to gain a foothold, hackers target their attack by approaching targets over LinkedIn, posting as job recruiters. Ultimately, they shifted to WhatsApp to continue the recruitment process, sharing a Word document embedded with malicious macros. Many said in some cases these Word documents are stylized to fit job descriptions that they are promoting to their targets. For example, one lure shared by Mandiant impersonates the New York Times as shown below. So here's the human resources in the New York Times. The Word document macro performs remote template injection to fetch Trojanized versions of type VNC from compromised WordPress sites that serves as the attacker command and control. WordPress has more issues with security. Mandiant tracks the custom-made version of type VNC as lid shift. Upon execution, it uses reflective DLL injections to load an encrypted DLL Trojanized Network Plus Plus plugin into system memory. A lot of people use Notepad Plus Plus. Big, very big. The loaded file is a malware document named LidShot, which performs a system enumeration and employs the final foothold, establishing the payload on the breach drive, aka plank walk, disguising as a Windows file. During the post exploitation phase, the North Korean hacker uses a new custom malware dropper named Touch Shift, which disguises itself as a legitimate Windows binary, M-score DLL, or netplex .dll. Touch then Shift loads another utility called Touch Shot, and a keylogger named Touch Key, a tunneler named Hookshot, and a new loader named Touch Move, and a new backdoor named Sideshow. So they got a lot of stuff going on. So that's showing you the touch shift payload and memory. program running in DOS mode. So that's going to bring you your malware to your machine. The most interesting of the bunch is the new custom backdoor slideshow, which supports a total of 49 commands. These commands enable an attacker to perform arbitrary code execution on a compromised device, modified by the registry, manipulates the firewall settings, and adds a new scheduled task and execute additional payload. So you would hope your corporate malware and firewall would know if somebody was manipulating the firewall settings and actually block that. So in some cases where the target organization didn't use a VPN, the threat actors were observed abusing Microsoft Intune to deploy the cloud-burst malware using PowerShell scripts. The tools also disguise itself as a legitimate Windows files, more specifically mscore.dll, and its role is to perform system enumeration. The other part about that is PowerShell, especially in a corporate environment, we're signing these PowerShell scripts. So if you don't have the signature, hopefully it wouldn't be able to run. But enabling EDR tools via 0-day. The second report published by Mandiant today focuses on bring your own vulnerability driver tactic, followed by the UNC 2970 in the latest campaign. Upon examining logs on a compromised system, Mandiant analysts found suspicious drivers in an old DLL file, SBus SDK DLL. Upon further investigation, the research discovered these files has been created by another file named share.dat in a memory drop tracked as light shift. The dropper load an obfuscated payload called light show, which leveraged the vulnerable driver to perform arbitrary read and write operations in the kernel memory. So that's showing you the memory dump in the kernel. So that's the light show code. I'll put the links in the description. The payload role is to patch kernel routines used by the EDR, endpoint detection and response software, helping the intruders evade detection. Notably, drivers used in this campaign was an AUS driver 7.sys, which wasn't known to be vulnerable at the time of Mandiant discovery. So the North Korean hackers were exploiting a 0-day flaw. Once again, a 0-day flaw means your malware virus protection will not catch it. Mandiant reporting the issue of sus back in October 2022. The vulnerability received the identifier as CVE 2022-4245. The vendor fixed it via an update released 7 days later. North Korean hackers previously targeted security researchers involved in vulnerability and exploit development by creating fake online social media personas that pretended to be vulnerability researchers. These personas would then contact other security researchers about potential collaboration and vulnerability research. After establishing the contact with the researchers, the hackers sent malicious video studio project and MHTML files that exploded Internet Explorer 0-day. Both of these lures were used to deploy malware on targeted researchers' devices to gain remote access to their computer. So once again, North Korea are faking online social media personas to hack vulnerability researchers. You think security researchers would be a little more suspicious or double check your credentials, but once again, if your persona seems real and you had it for a while, of course they just gonna accept it. So long story short, if you're on LinkedIn, check those job offers before you click on them. You could have malware. They're really looking for security researchers, but anybody's a target, right? The more the merrier. So once again, Professor Black Ops, please subscribe. They are here tricking security researchers. Be safe in these cybersecurity streets.